Welcome back to the online course design series, your step-by-step guide to building effective and engaging online courses. Hi again, Dr. Beaker here. We've reached a crucial point in the course building process. Throughout this workshop, you've developed all the key elements of your course: objectives, assessments, materials, and more. Each lesson has included formative worksheets where you've worked on distinct parts of your course. Now, we're at the final summative step before we dive into the Blackboard course building process. In this lesson, we'll complete the course map, the blueprint for your course. This is where all the pieces you've created come together, ensuring everything is well organized, aligned, and ready for Blackboard. The purpose of this lesson is to create the final course map and review it to ensure everything is in the right place, ready for the next steps in Blackboard. This isn't just about filling in a form, it's your opportunity to refine and organize your course content before moving forward. The course map consolidates all your course materials, objectives, lessons, assessments into one document. It helps you visualize how everything fits together and ensures that your course is logically organized. It's also an important opportunity to check for balance, making sure the course content and workload are appropriate. The course map serves three key purposes. First, it acts as your roadmap for building your course in Blackboard. Second, it's a final review, ensuring everything is aligned and ready. Lastly, it helps with time management, allowing you to check that your course pacing is balanced for both you and your students. As you work through the map, take note of any areas that need refinement, such as overloaded weeks or inconsistent pacing. The course map will help you make sure everything aligns properly and flows from one lesson to the next. The course map provides a clear structure, but remember, it's also flexible. You're free to adjust the layout, add additional rows, or rearrange sections to suit your teaching style. Whether you prefer a more lecture-heavy approach or smaller, interactive lessons, you can adapt the map to match your vision for your course. The course map is a tool to help you organize your course, and how you use it is entirely up to you. Now, let's dive into the hands-on activity. You'll be completing your course map, which is a critical step in organizing everything you've created so far and preparing it for Blackboard. I've already completed my course map, and I'll use it as an example to show you how I've structured everything. Feel free to refer to my example as you work on your own map. It's here to help guide you and keep you on track. Let's begin by completing the course information section. This is where you'll add basic course details like the course title, course ID, semester, and course description. These are the foundational pieces of your course, so take a moment to fill them in. Here's a tip. The course title and course ID are straightforward inputs, but don't rush through the course description. Think about what you want your students to know about your course. What's unique about it? What should they expect to learn? If your department has a description, feel free to use it, but personalize it to fit your vision. Once this part is complete, check your progress. Double-check that the course title and course ID are accurate, and ensure your course description clearly communicates the essence of the course. Once that's complete, move on to the course level objectives. These are the overarching goals for the course, describing what you want students to achieve by the end. You can find these in your course objectives worksheet. If you're unsure, take a moment to review them and make sure they align with the content you've developed. Here's a tip. If your course has more than 3 objectives, feel free to add more rows to accommodate them. Now, we'll move on to the lesson module mapping section. This is the largest part of the course map and will include all of your lesson objectives, materials, assessments, and activities. It's broken down into 18 sections, each corresponding to a lesson or module. For each lesson, you will need to fill in a few different tables, such as lesson objectives, instructional materials, and assessments and activities. Here's a tip. Don't worry about getting it perfect on the first try. If you're unsure of any sections, refer back to your previous worksheets, the Lesson Objectives Worksheet, Instructional Materials Worksheet, and Assessment Planning Worksheet to pull the necessary details. Let's start with the first part of each lesson, the lesson title and narrative description. You can find the lesson titles in your course navigation worksheet. Once you've added the title, write a brief description explaining what the lesson covers and why it's important. This is your chance to explain the core focus of the lesson. Next, in the Lesson Objectives section, list the specific objectives for that lesson. These should be drawn from your Lesson Objectives worksheet. You'll also align these with the course level objectives in the second column. This helps ensure that each lesson directly supports your broader course goals. Next, let's move to the Instructional Materials section. Here you'll list the resources or materials you plan to use, including the title, source, and the lesson objective it supports. Provide a brief description of each material, highlighting its content and relevance to the lesson. Include the material type and the estimated time it will take for students to engage with it. Then, explain how the material aligns with the lesson objective. This step will help ensure everything is in place and may reveal areas that need adjustment. Finally, identify any accessibility features associated with the material. For more details, refer to the Instructional Materials worksheet. If a lesson has multiple materials, simply copy and paste the table to accommodate them all. Here's a tip. Be specific about your materials. For example, instead of just saying reading, note the title, author, or specific chapter. This ensures clarity for both you and your students. Let's move on to the Assessments and Activities section. Start by providing a descriptive title for the activity, followed by the objective it will assess. Next, choose the appropriate assessment category and identify the tool that will be used for evaluation. Offer a brief description of the activity, explaining the topics covered and its relevance to the lesson. Then, include detailed instructions on how the assessment or activity should be completed, along with the estimated time for completion. Specify your evaluation strategy, such as a rubric or checklist, and explain how the activity aligns with and measures the lesson objective. For more information, refer to the Assessment Planning Worksheet and Collaborative Activity Worksheet, where you'll find details for each assessment, including its type and how it supports the lesson objectives. If your module includes more than one assessment, simply copy and paste the Assessments and Activities table as many times as needed. As you fill out each lesson, review your work to ensure that the objectives, materials, and assessments all support one another, and that everything is aligned. Check for consistency and adjust as necessary. Think about how the content is distributed. Are there weeks with too many assignments? Are there weeks with too little content? Take a moment to adjust and ensure the pacing is manageable. You've made excellent progress today. As we wrap up, let's quickly review what we've accomplished. You've begun filling out your course map, pulling together all of your course materials into one cohesive document. We've also covered how to fill in the basic course details, course level objectives, and the lesson module mapping, while ensuring everything is consistent, aligned, and well-paced. Remember, the course map is more than just a document. It's your final review. It helps ensure your course is organized, balanced, and ready to be transferred into Blackboard. It's a flexible tool that will guide you as you start building your course, and you might find areas that need refinement along the way. That's completely normal, and the map will help you make those adjustments. You've done a fantastic job so far, so keep up the great work. Now that your course is well organized and ready, we'll move on to transferring it into Blackboard in the next lesson.